Hey guys. Okay, hold on a second. Let me turn off my music for a second. Okay, I think I'm on. Yep, I'm on. I was trying to get my webcam to work, but it's not working. So I'm doing it through my laptop. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up. Hold on just a second. Hey, Daddy. Can you log on and see if you can hear me? Thank you. I was trying to get my webcam to work, but it didn't want to work. So it is what it is. Okay. I can see myself, but I don't want to put the volume on in case I can't. I don't want to do the whole thing. Yes? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so today, we're going to be doing something different today. So we are doing a very simple market tote that I actually designed and printed back in, I'm going to say October. And these are supposed to be like pre-made kits that you just get and make, and it's going to be easy for you to do for markets and things like that. So that's why I wanted to focus on before I made the transition of closing the studio and things like that. So I wanted to show you guys what that kit is. And I'm still working on it. So I could still have a lot of different options for you guys. And then I have some more of the other things I told you last week that I was going to show you at the end of the live, but then I forgot to show you. So, okay. So, this is one options that I had for like a little cute little market tote. This is the design. And then on the sides, these are like the two side panels. I've laid this out easier so that it literally comes out in half-yard cuts. So all you have to do is just cut out what you need, and that's all it is. So you don't have to worry about like the different pieces. But this was just my first run at it. And then it also comes with enough for the straps. I will be omitting the straps and including webbing with my kits instead, because I feel that takes up a lot of real estate, that you could just make a larger bag if you wanted to, rather than having the straps printed. So this is how it comes out, and it tells you, and it pretty much gives you markers like where to fold it and so on and so forth. And then you're also going to need some bias binding. So either you could use waterproof canvas for binding, or you could just use regular fold over binding. You can use elastic, but the problem with elastic is sometimes it stretches, so you may need to be careful with that when you're stretching it. So, okay. So if you guys are watching this on a replay, this is a live on March 19th. I don't even know what date it is. On March 15th. So if you put any comments and I don't answer your comments, that's because it's no longer live. But feel free to put it in the regular comments instead of on the comments on the side where the live replay is. And I'll be sure to answer any questions you have. Okay. So I'm so excited for this. Okay. So this is the sides. This is the front. It is so vibrant. I love the colors. The colors are very vibrant. And I like it. It says Faith Over Fear. I had one that has like football theme as well. Yeah, did a football theme one too. Like I said, this was supposed to all happen like during the fall, but That's another one, flannel, footballs, and family. And the good thing is with this, I can literally design it so that if you want something to be specific to like your particular business, for marketing purposes, I can do that too. Okay, so let's get this to the side here. Hold on a second. Let me just stay there. Okay. And you are gonna be there. So I still stay hydrated because I have to keep myself hydrated. Trying to get my iPad and stuff like that out of the way. Okay. That's for later. That's for later. That's for later. That's for later. Okay, so if you guys are watching this, in the description box, I put in a code for buy one, get one half off of all of my waterproof canvas, printed waterproof canvases, my plain vinyls, as well as my printed vinyls in cork. So any of those options, you buy one, you get one half off, and that's going to be till the end of March. So the code is in the description box below, and I will be putting it out to an email to all of my like clientele this weekend. But if you guys are here on the live, then you get to have it first. So yay. Okay, let's get making this market tote. Okay, so for the market tote, usually we'll just come, like I said, I'm fixing it so that you're not having to do as much cutting. It's mostly just sewing. But I go ahead and do that. The kiddos are heading off to swim practice with their daddy. Okay, so I cut those. So those are my two side panels. And here, I'm not cutting anything here because this is actually the bottom of the bag. Okay, and then these would be the handles. I am not making the handles because we are not going to have the handles as an option. We are going to have webbing as an option. So I will be using webbing today. And actually, yeah, I'm doing purple webbing. I was trying to debate whether I wanted pink webbing or purple, but I think the purple's really gonna, maybe not. I don't know. That purple really just stands out, which is okay because it's not going to be like all over the place. It's just going to be from the handle up, but I can see how that takes away from the design. So let me get something a little bit more neutral. If you have a question, pop it over in the side. And I'm also going to put it on my web, my couple of places that I'm on live right now in case someone wants to join us. Yeah, let's do pink. All right, let's do pink. I was going to try to do a neutral color, but I was like, this one needs to be, oh, yeah, that'll be perfect. That's really going to pop off those pinks and those flowers. Okay. Hey, baby girl. Did you enjoy your walk? Yeah, did you enjoy your walk? Luna, did you enjoy your walk, babies? Yeah. Okay. She just got back from her walk. So cotton webbing. So I want to have the cotton webbing offered on with the kit instead of nylon webbing, the seatbelt webbing, because a lot of people are more comfortable with this. It doesn't slip as much. And because it's going to be double. Bye, sweetheart. Have fun. And because it's going to be doubled up. Just don't worry about it. Yes, my love. Yes, my love. That's Luna. It's my baby girls. Hey, baby girls. Yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Let me put it on that I am live in case a couple of my friends are out there and they didn't know that I'm already on. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see there. Okay. Ooh. Where's that phone? That's going to be a problem. There it is. I was like, wait a minute, that's going to be a problem. I do want to have some background music. All right, so let's see here. Okay. Oh, great. All right. Great. So one of my friends is coming on right now so she can let me know if there's any adjusting that I need to do. Let me push you guys back just a tiny, because you guys are on my laptop. There. Come on, Luna. Come on down, babies. Hi. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Yeah? Up. Up. Okay. Not my face. Say hi, people. Say hi. Yo, go, girls. I say go, girls. Okay, remember, you can't step over here because you'll start the machine. Good girl. All right, sit. Luna, sit. Good girl. Yes, that's a good girl. Okay, so Patty, are you on? I just want to put some music in the background and then let me know if you can hear it or not, because I remember the last time we did a stream together, it was it on Zoom or was it somewhere else? I don't know where it was. Anyway, and you couldn't hear the music in the background, which was awesome because then I could put music on and listen to music while I would still be with you guys. All right, so we're doing this. Okay, these are our side panels. Okay. Side panels, then we will, I think we need to add these on before we do the side panels. Yeah, that's the order in which my mind had done it. Okay, so yours would already be pre-cut. That's way too long. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Yeah, baby, they left, honey. They went to go to take Junior to practice. She gets so upset when they leave. They're like, they left me. And I'll show you what you can do with this later. It's like, you left me. I don't know why, but if you guys are saying something in the chat, I can't see it for some reason. So let me connect over here. Because I was like, this is weird. I might be able to see them, but I'm not sure because I haven't seen anything come up yet. Oh, well, hello, Sonia. You are commenting in the chat. Okay, so I can't see it for some reason on my laptop, but I can see it on my phone. So I'm just going to keep my phone up so I can see you guys on the chat. Because that doesn't make any sense that I can't see you on the thing. So I'll pull up my tablet so that I can watch the comments on the tablet. So for any of you who recently joined, I do have a coupon code in the description box below for buy one, get one half off all of my fabrics. So what that means is any of my vinyls, waterproof canvases, auto text, everything else like that, all that's going to be buy one full price and you get the second one half off. It doesn't have to be the same exact one. So you can buy a vinyl of 2 different prints or something like that. Hi. Okay, so now it's popping up. I don't know why, but it's so late because now I see Sonia, but she said hi like 10 minutes ago. Okay. Love your table stand. Oh, thank you. Which table stand? Which one? I've got so many stands everywhere. I don't know which one. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm on live. That was Tori. She's like, "Hey, lovely, why are you selling your laser?" And I was like, "Because I what you call it? Because I don't really use it." Oh, tablet. Got it. iPad tablet. Gotcha. I thought you said my table stand. I misread it, so don't worry about me, Patty. Okay, so on here on the kit, it automatically, like it's pre-printed, it tells you where to fold it. So I'm going to fold it down to that, just like that. Okay, and then you pretty much sew on the ones like this, and then we fold it one more time. No, I don't think we fold it twice. I think it's just once. Yeah, it's just once. So stick this in here. No, it is twice. Okay, that's what I thought. Like I said, this has been designed so long ago. Oh, hello, Miss Tori. Hi. It's early where you are. It's not like 2 in the morning. Or is it 6 in the morning? I don't know. Luna is all tunkered out from her walk, so that was a lot of help from my daughter, helping me get Luna a little tunkered out. 6:19 a.m. Okay, so that's not too early for you. That's normal for you. Are you still rained out over there? Okay. So I'm folding it at that line. Then I can add tape in where these little boxes are. Like that. And then it's going to rain all week. Oh. Yeah, well, luckily it's not so bad here. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And put that right there. And then I'm going to go flat and run it over. Do it about centered. Okay, so now I've done that. Okay, and then we're going to fold it one more time. So this might get a little thick here, but it's really going to make sure that your handles don't come off. Because I don't know about y'all, sometimes when you do these market totes, the biggest thing is people say that the webbing comes off. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, is instead of putting it up against there, I'm going to leave the tape there. But I'm going to put this down here and then put that down. That's much better. So it's still going to be nice and secure, but it's not going to be double as thick. I'm still working through all of this. Like I said, this was all a prototype when I first ordered the print. It was all a prototype. Because that's one thing I'm good at. I'm good at designing things on the computer and making things work really well. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm going to sew it just down this line first. And then when I flip it over, then I'm just going to do a little box stitch into it. You need a drain system near your shed. Although it didn't flood. So what I have here on mine, like I do have a drain system, but there's also like a lip piece that's about 6 inches wide. That's like metal that prevents water from getting in, even if it's just splashing up to come inside. So yeah. No, baby girl, you're not going outside. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Here. No, ma'am. You're not going outside. She just came from a walk and she wants to go back outside. All right, so I did that side. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So Tori, yeah, the reason I want to sell my machine is because I really am not using it. I have used it all of a handful of times, and it's just taking up space, and I'm very limited in the amount of space that I have. As you very much know, because you also have a very limited amount of space. But I do not have extra space inside the house. So because I don't have extra space in the house, I can't really just put it upstairs. So this is my space, and that's all space I have. We should do a live and use. Yeah, we should do a live and use it. Use the M1 right over there. Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to unstick this. Okay. Oh, Patty, I wanted to ask you before we went too far. I'm gonna put some music on. It's gonna be copyright free music, whatever, for right now. But if you can't hear it, I'll tell you when I put it on so that you'll know. Then that will be really awesome because then I can put music on. Take your time. A friend of mine also lost somebody close to them, so it's kind of hard to get back into the routine of things after that. So it's like what's it called? Oh yeah, copy. Copyright free background music. There we go. Okay. It's a Cricut and laser all in one. I know it's a Cricut and laser one, but I wasn't even using my Cricut. I really should have just had a dose of reality. Because it's Jello, right? Okay. So then now I'm going to flip these over. Yeah, let me switch these. It would be great if I actually used it as a Cricut even. But I didn't even use the Cricut all that much. I guess it's because I don't do real detailed things or whatever. So we should change that too. Change what? It comes with the SVG file and you can cut it out of the accents. You can barely tell there's music. Okay. Thank you, Patty. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I saw the new pattern. I have to make a very modified ragabash. And I say very modified ragabash because my son is being very particular about the type of bag he wants. He wants a duffel bag, but he wants it to be a circle and then, kind of flat at the bottom. So it's really not a ragabash. It's just a circle duffel bag kind of thing. But we'll see. I had told him that I would have it made by his next competition. Because his competition is next weekend and he's really been wanting it. Okay, so I just stitched right across there and you can see the change and where the fabric is. You actually know where it is, so that way you don't have to stitch it from the back side, which makes it really cool. See, now I can see all the comments over there, but I'm gonna do something else. Let me see. Can I put the comments to be bigger? Pop out chat. Okay. That way I can see everything a little bit better. Try Dallas from Swoon. Is Dallas a duffel bag? Well, obviously, since you told me to try that one, it might as well be it. Huh. Dallas by Swoon. You can hear the music more this time. Yeah, I think the volume went up for a second. That's okay. Which one is the Dallas? Is that a duffel bag? I'm just concentrating. Give me a second. Ooh, yay, that turned out really pretty. Okay. My hair is getting... Yeah, it's a duffel. Okay. It's more round in the ragabash. Okay, I'll look at that one. Thank you, Tori. You are awesome. All right, so I'm going to grab one of my sides. Okay. And the difference between this is it's not going to be pretty sides touching. It's everything's going to have binding on the outside. Okay. Oh, and this was supposed to be. Okay, forget that one's double two. Double trouble. Okay, let's see here. How do you remember all this? Like, how do you remember all of the bags that have whatever shapes or whatever, and then at the same time you have to run? All right, later. Oh wait. See, I can let my hair down for like 2 minutes and then I get hot. Okay. Just want to make sure measurement wise. No. Yeah, it's supposed to stop. It's supposed to. So from here to here, it's supposed to be centered there, and then it pivots up that way. Yeah, it should. Yeah, so it should be there. I should have, because she's amazing. Of course she is, Patty. Her and Kasaya have this like uncanny ability to do that, because Kasaya is the same way. She's like, oh yeah, that's this pattern from this. I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't remember. I try to. But then I'm like, what was that again? We'll try it the other way just in case I wasn't supposed to do the folding first. And I was supposed to do the folding last. We'll figure it all out. Like I said, this was something I made in my mind so long ago. Okay. All right, so wrong sides touching. And then I'm going to stop there and then pivot it. Let's see how that works. You know, with me, it's almost like, you know, a roller coaster ride. You never know what you're going to get. Okay. So I did that. And I want to show you guys something else I've been working on. I've been crocheting. My mom had so much crocheting stuff in her, like, stuff. It's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go from this side down. Because if I have to change anything down here, I'd rather do it. I'd rather have the top match up and then do any kind of, you know, manipulation work or whatever the other way. Yeah, she had so much crocheting stuff. It's not even funny how much crocheting stuff she had. And so I picked most of it up. Some of the things I just didn't keep. It was really like inexpensive, like not that great kind of stuff. But some of it was just like, okay, this is okay. I can do with this. See? And then right here, if you wanted to, you could fold and pinch in there. Oh, that's right. That's what I was supposed to do. Okay. Don't worry about me. I told you I'm working this out. Okay, so I remember now. I remember. My memory went ding, 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 ding. It did. Okay, I don't have to go too far up, but now I remember. I remember. Who's calling me? Nope. I don't know anybody from an 844. Get so many spams, it's not even funny. Okay, so right here you could pinch it in and then stitch this. So I'm going to do these sides first and then that one so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Actually, let me do it to the other side that I haven't done anything yet to. Where's the other side? I'm going to drop it. Ah, dropped in the trash. Okay, let me show you on this side and then I'll manipulate that one for a second. Okay, so here on that line, you take it and you fold at that line. Should be like that. And then we're going to stitch very, 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 very close to the edge. Like less than 1/8 of an inch. I mean, you are barely stitching on this. This is going to create a fold in your tote. And what happens is that way when you're wanting to fold it, it naturally wants to go back to that shape. See that? Okay. And that might be something I take off the design. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it looks when I finish it. Okay. And then after I've done that, now I can pinch it all together at the center. It's not quite exactly. Oh, well, that's why, because there's extra over here. Okay. Might be good if I cut it actually on the lines. All right, so I'm starting it right underneath this top lip fold because it doesn't need to go all the way up. It just needs to have some kind of a crease marker. Okay. And so that's what happens. So then that way when it goes to be folded all together, it automatically wants to do those folds. So I'm going to do that on this one. This one's going to be a little trickier because I still have it technically like on. Might as well take it off though. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. So when you have this done right, then it will not take as long, one, and two, a lot less cutting and things like that. But you can really personalize it. Okay. Luna's upstairs taking her nap. And she's like, you're just talking to yourself, and therefore I don't need to be down here. When she wants something, she'll come down here and poke me really hard with her nose on my stomach. Like on my side right here, she'll go really hard. I've been spending more time in my sewing space, even if I'm not actually sewing. Been doing a lot of like administrative things. I'm trying to take care of things with my mom's stuff. We have to get a probate attorney and all these stuff because she didn't have a will. So it's just it's very complicated and stuff like that. It is and it isn't, because my brothers have pretty much said that they're not contesting my sister and I pretty much sharing whatever she had left, because, you know, we're pretty much her caregivers, one way or another. So in the house that my mom lived in, technically was my mom's house, but she had deeded it over to my sister years ago because her and my sister lived together. So that made that a lot easier in hindsight. Okay, so there's that. So estate, that's what it is. Estate. Dealing with all her stuff with her estate. So I've been doing that, but I've been doing it in my sewing space just so I start getting used to coming back into the space. Even though I'm not really motivated to do much sewing these days, it's okay. It'll take it little by little. Little by little. And this part is optional. The only reason I did it on mine was because I already had that line there and it kind of looked a little weird to have that line. But like I said, in the future ones, I may not even have that line there. So it just makes it less sewing that you have to do. You go back there. You and you go there. And technically I don't have to backstitch here because it is going to it's going to be bound. So technically I don't have to, but it just helps. All right. And then right here, see how I pull on that nice and tight and I tuck in that little extra right there. Boop. Boop. there's that side. Now there's this side that we get to do. And repeat. So if I did this so that it was more like a pattern, like for example, like the sides were already all there, and then you just cut out, you just fold it or whatever. I don't know how that would work. My mind is trying to say that it'll work, but I'm not sure. I don't believe it yet. Could not, I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. Yep. So I think that the folding this down before we sew down the sides is actually a lot better. Because I remember the first time I tried to run through this, that's the problem. That's the one part that I had the hardest part with, was getting everything to fold with these creases. It was very hard to kind of manipulate it for it to just fold and then fold down again without having to use an iron and stuff like that. So I think it just made it much better to do it this way. So there. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Boom. I mean, that's a good size tote. I mean, think about that. Like, you can have it that it kind of comes in all the way. And it goes nice and flat. See that? It goes nice and flat. And then you can just fold it over and boom. It's a good tote to take to the grocery store. It's nice and deep. There it is. I was like, where did I put it? I know I had it. Okay. So now we're just going to bind it. So just all the way around binding it. So here's my suggestion for binding. You're not going to want to have clip and pin all the way around. You're really going to have to just trust yourself on this. Open up your binding. Okay. Fold it over once. Just like that. So then that way, now that edge there is now no longer a raw edge. It's just a fold over edge. Okay. So you can go like that. And now we're going to take it and we're going to fold it. Actually, we're going to open it. Open it. Fold it over. Okay. And then tuck it over and fold it over again. And then just really make sure to push that in. Just push that in. You're only going to need a couple of clips to kind of get started. But the rest of the time, you're really just lining it up like that. And you're just going to stop and line it up as you go. Okay. So I like to have the edge, because there's two sides to the fold over elastic. Okay. So the fold over elastic kind of lays like this, where there's the top edge and then there's the bottom edge. The bottom edge, the fold over is like an 1/18 of an inch wider than the top edge. So if you sew right along that top edge, which is the shorter piece, then you automatically catch this back one. But if you do it the opposite way, then what happens is you're catching this top one, but then you're not catching the bottom one. So that's why I always like to make sure that the wider piece of the fold is underneath. Yeah, it is a pretty quick sew, Patty. That's why I wanted to design this. And I wanted it to have the ability to be customizable. And what that means is that like you send me like this front piece that you want to have to it. And then the rest of it is just standard. And I just put in like Faith Over Fear or so-and-so church or so-and-so book club or something like that. Just so that it could be something that you can offer local things for your community, and make market totes and things like that for them. And it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to print like a whole bunch of them, but you also get to, make it, and it's not too bad of a sew. Okay, and exactly like I said, all you're doing is like literally opening it, tucking it in really nice, and then folding it over, holding it, and going. Tuck and fold, tuck and fold. Okay, now the corners might get a little tricky. Okay, they might. I like to come in within 1/4 of an inch towards the bottom, lift my foot, rotate, and then tuck in that bottom edge again. Make sure that's nice and tucked in, and then this is going to cover it, but you might need yourself like a little pair of tweezer pliers just to make sure you're really getting into that corner, because you're pretty much creating a mitered corner. Oh, you biscuit eating! Sorry, I ran out of bobbin. Oh, I ran out of bobbin. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Get in there. There we go. So while we have that intermission, let me talk to you about these wonderful little bobbin holders here. So mine on this side has my bobbins on it. And then this one's an empty one that I just wanted to show you guys that you could hold. It holds about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 bobbins per stand. It's magnetic, so it doesn't fall off your machine. If you don't have an industrial machine and you have a regular domestic machine, but you have one of those little crafty carts that are metal, then you could take this and put it on that, even sideways if you wanted to, or standing straight up. Tori uses her standing straight up in her cart, and they're stackable. So when you order it, you get 2, and they're stackable like this. So you could really minimize the amount of space that you use, and then all your bobbins are right there. If you wanted to do it that way, or you could just do it side by side like I'm doing. But yeah. So that's on my website, and I can link that later today in the comments. Okay. Try not to overfill your bobbin. It's a common troubleshooting issue. So if you have problems with your bobbin, like getting a lot of like bird nesting underneath it when you first start using a new bobbin. Oh no, I fell. No, I didn't fall. My what you call it did. my tablet. I'll grab it in a second. So if you ever have that problem, it might be because you overwhelmed your bobbin. Just to let you know. Okay, thread my needle. Okay. Draw up that bobbin. Okay. And then just pull on it just so lightly, just to make sure it's nice and it's not kinked up into the thing. Right, let me grab my tablet. Ugh. Good thing is it has a screen protector thingy or whatever. My friend Monica is the one who got me the sticker on the back of mine because she knows how much I like stickers. So she gave me that sticker. Right there. It's pretty. It says, "Blessed is she who believes that the Lord will fulfill his promise to her." He loves me. I don't want to remove any comments. Okay. So now that happened, let me go back. All right. I'm going to start stitching about 3 or 4 stitches before I ran out of bobbin. Back stitch and just really lock those stitches in, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Right, so needle stays down, foot comes up. I'm tucking underneath and taking away underneath. And I'm just putting in that down there. Okay, lift my foot up again. Just make sure all of this is back underneath there. It's going to create a mitered corner. If you've quilted, you kind of know what that is. Now, it is not by any means the perfect mitered corner. Not at all. Not even close. But it does create that fold over there. So that way you can do that turn. And then I'm thinking that with the kits, I can have it be that the binding match either the webbing. Yeah, I think I want the fold over binding to match. Hello, House of Stitches. Hello. I think I saw you over at Barb's channel the other day, and then at Kasaya's, and then I think at Brittany's too, when Brittany was doing her live, like I think last Friday or something. Hi. To match. So then that way it coordinates. I think that would be really cool. So welcome. If you're just joining me, welcome. Okay. Again, I'm going to get really close, about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to stop. Leave my needle down. Lift up my foot. And then tuck in that corner right up against that binding. The trick here, right, is you're going to need some practice on that. Okay. The trick here is if you're wanting to do it as one continuous one, then I highly suggest that you practice that because it is a little tricky, but I will show you on the next one that we do because we've got plenty of time. I mean, what time is it now? 5 o'clock. I got another hour. I can show you the other way I can do the other one without doing a lot of the folding and all the other kind of stuff and not having to do this all in one piece, I can give you the alternative way to do it. So that would be very cool. So that way there's more than one way to skin a cat or feed a cat. How about that? There's more than one way to feed a cat. It'd be nice to our animals, right? Oh, what did I do? Something happened. What did you do? I just got like, oh, okay. It got all tangled up over here. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Okay. It was doing something funny. Oh, you like wrapped up in there a couple of times, aren't you, buddies? Oh, yeah. Okay. So it wrapped up a couple of times around my tension disc, which caused too much tension, that caused it to start having friction. And then it broke. I need a new chair, but the chair's going to have to wait for a little while. I have a few other things in line. Like tomorrow, I'm having to go to the dentist to get a cap and 2 fillings. I fractured a molar. So in high stress situations, I clamp my jaw and lock my jaw. And I do it more in my sleep when I'm not noticing, because during the daytime when I notice it, I release. I breathe and I release. But unfortunately, obviously from all the stress of everything that's happened in the last couple of months, I fractured a molar. So now I get to go to the dentist tomorrow and get that fixed. And then I had 2 crowns on my bottom molars, but I broke those off. So those fillings are gone now, so I broke them off. So yeah. And Patty, that's why I had the vertigo the week before. Is all of the pressure from my bronchitis cleared up really well, but then my ears started hurting really bad. And then, hi Jaden, how are you, sweetheart? Hugs back. And that's what was causing the pressure in my ear on this side, would cause me to have the vertigo. I was like, because it's been so long since I've had vertigo. Like, it'd been a hot minute. So I was like, what is going on? Because I know I've been, trying to take care of stuff and everything to make sure I don't get my vertigo again. And that's why. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. All right, let me tuck that in there. Everything is nice and pretty and nice and tucked. Yeah, okay. I'm going to finish this one, and then I'll show you guys how to do the other one without the continuous binding. And we'll start from the very beginning of the construction, so all of our friends that came on just now will know. All right, so this part here, I'm going to go like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do my top stitching here. If you wanted to add a D-ring here or something to have it so people can hang their keys or something like that, you can do that. There's so much things you can do to these totes. It's just amazing. And this isn't too thick that you're not going to be able to do this on a domestic. It's just very, very lightweight. Very lightweight. Even my cotton webbing is very lightweight, but strong. I missed your face. How are you? I'm doing okay. It's laundry day. I've been doing good. I'm taking it a day at a time. You know, I'm having to work out some things for my mom's estate and things like that. But I'm choosing to do it in my craft room, so then that way I'm in a nice, happy place. Even if I don't quite feel like sewing or doing anything like that, at least I'm in this room, in this space, because it's my happy space. So yeah, but that's pretty much all, really. I've been trying to help my husband get some of our projects done and some of our rentals, you know, turnovers and all that lovely stuff. We had a couple of things that just got put on hold while I was down in Florida. So, you know, we've got to get those done and situated so we don't have empty houses. You know, just a couple. But it's still a few. So I'm going to do that. And then what else? Kids are doing really well. Dwight Jr. is doing his last meet for what they call, what was that? His last meet for the short season. I don't know. They have long seasons and short seasons and swimming. I don't know. And so he's doing his last swim meet this weekend, and I have to make him a circular-ish duffel bag. And Tori recommended the Dallas by Swoon, so I think I might do that one for him. He's already picked out the fabric that he wants. He wants this really nice dark navy blue that's waxed canvas. And this is the one he wants to take with him to like competitions and stuff, where he doesn't need to have like his entire, all of his stuff, like all of his fins and goggles, and not goggles, but snorkel, like, and paddle boards and all that. Yeah, that's all we're getting, right? Taking it one day at a time. Yep. All right. So here's this one. Okay. So this is the one way to do it. And if you wanted to really, again, like you could come in here and stitch across there just to kind of give those definition lines like we did with the sides. Okay. So there's that one. Let me go ahead and do the other side. Why? Why not? Because I can show you guys here in just a few minutes, if you don't mind me finishing this one up really fast. So then that way I can show you from start to beginning on the other one. That should not take as long because obviously I'm not unstitching things and all that loveliness. All that loveliness. Okay. Then I'll show you that, like I said, the easier way to do this. Here we go. All right. So, woo! What is going on? It's like I let off the gas and it keeps going, and then that time I just kind of stopped it for a second and it just kept doing something else. It's like it's possessed. So dentist appointment tomorrow at 8 a.m. My husband has to drive me because I need to have the gas. But then if I start like hyperventilating too much, then they need to put me in a quiet room for a little bit. They need to turn off the lights and everything. And then start over. And re-sedating me, because what happens is I will literally stop breathing. I will literally hold my breath. I don't know what kind of traumatic experience I've had at the dentist in my younger life or in a previous life, but whatever it is, it's real. My husband tells me every time he has to go with me and I get a procedure done, he's like, I think I lose like 2 years off of my life just telling you to breathe the whole time. I'm like, I am breathing. And he's like, no, you're not. So, yeah. And then my adrenaline is going so fast that it like my body burns the gas out of my system so fast that they have to keep cranking it up. And they're like, oh my goodness, for such a little thing, you have like, we need to do a lot of gas for such a little thing. I'm like, yep. I'm little but mighty. I have a high resistance. It's so funny because my this is a new dentist. Valium, Xanax, I mean, is your best friend. You take it. Okay, so here's the thing, Patty. I am currently on Xanax twice a day, every day. Not normally, I'm not like that. But again, taking it one day at a time and having to deal with a lot, you know? So I'm already on Xanax. Because the doctor even told me, he goes, oh, I can prescribe you some if you'd like. And I'm like, I already have it. I already have a prescription for it. I've actually got some in my bag right now. And I already took 2 before I came here. And that was just for the consultation. Just for the consultation, I was already like, and everything. I had my stitch and everything, just holding on to. My husband couldn't be there with me. So my mother-in-law drove me because I'd already started taking my happy pills. So then, so I was like, you have to drive me. And she's like, that's fine, I'll drive you. Yes. I don't know. They're very nice people. They're very nice people. Everybody there is amazing. They're just such amazing people. It's just something, I don't know what it was. And I even asked my mom, a few years ago, but while she was living, I was like, Mom, like, seriously, what happened? Like, during the dentist at some time when I was younger or whatever, like, did something, like, crazy happen that I have some kind of, post-traumatic syndrome of this or something? And she's like, Sandra, I have no idea because you've never had a problem. I'm like, I don't know, but I have a problem now. None of that, where my body is like, nope, and it will not calm down. Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, my body burns through it so much faster. I don't know what it is, but my body just burns it so fast because of the adrenaline going through my system. It is a very special thing for me. That's all I gotta say. Awesome sauce. Okay, so that one's done, and this one's done. Okay, and so now we gotta do is just do these little guys right here. We have a dentist that will use IV meds. Yeah, he has IV meds too. Like, if it gets bad enough, he even said, like, if you need to have the IV meds, we can definitely do that. But we'll first try the gas because he's a newer dentist to me. It's the same office because they have branches everywhere, so they can talk to each other. From the Garner office that I used to be at when I lived in Garner, versus now Wilmington. But that's why I stayed with them, because I know that they will do the IV if I need it. But hopefully for a crown and 2 fillings, I won't need it. I'll be able to like get through it, especially since my husband's going to be there. He helps me a lot. Like he'll like tap my foot and make sure that I know he's still there. So as long as I know he's still there, I'm okay with at least like almost like Lamaze breathing. But if he's not there, I'm almost like completely inconsolable. It's awful. The nurse was like, the dental assistant was like, "It's okay, sweetie, it's okay," and she gave me this little ducky. She's like, "Do you want a ducky?" I was like, "Sure, I'll have a ducky." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll have a ducky." She gave me a little ducky. It was the cutest thing. Cute little thing. I put it right in my center console kind of thing, where in my van, so I could see it when I'm driving. It's the cutest little thing. Yeah. Okay, so before I go too far into doing the next one, and then I forget, let me show you guys what is either coming on the website or is new to my website, so you guys can look for those things. So this guy here is going to be a market tote kit. So it is going to come with everything pre-printed, just like this. It's going to come with, what is this called stuff again? Oh, binding, fold over binding. And then it's going to come with this up here. So everything is going to come ready for you to put all together. Who is texting me? And everything will come together. It looks amazing. Look at that. So the idea is for it to be nice and soft, and this is all waterproof canvas. So, and then on the inside, it looks gorgeous on the inside. So you don't have to line it. It's literally just this, and you keep it moving. For a limited time, I will be offering helping you design what you want on the front of the tote. It could be one thing on the front of the tote, and then on the back it'd be nothing. It doesn't change the price. But I think it's going to have to be 4 totes altogether, though, because two totes come per yard, but probably more than that. I have to double check because I had the webbing. I had these straps printed to match with it. I was like, oh, that'd be so cute, matching straps. That's just a whole lot extra work. We don't need to make straps. We've got webbing. Okay. We need to make these fast, quick, hurry market totes to take to different markets and sell them nice, pretty, vibrant colors. Okay. So I'm looking to have these designs put up. They'll probably be for April 5th or so. I can't say April 1st because this weekend is my son's last swim meet. He wants a duffel bag. I'm still working on my stuff with my mom's estate, so I'm going to shoot for April 5th. And then orders will go in on the 15th, and then it'll be the turnover. It comes to me before so it'll be back to me by May 5th, and then I can have it to you guys shipped back out within a 30-day turnaround kind of thing. All right, so other things that I have on the website that I have just recently put on because I have thousands of things. That's all I gotta say. So this is a water bottle holder. It's a water bottle holder. You can hold it like this. You can hold like this. However you want it to. So I think like that's like the best way to do it. So just imagine, okay, so this is my own webbing and this is my own hardware. What comes is just this piece here. Okay. But you can make your own ones to attach by clamp or D-rings or hooks, however you want to add this to book bags and anything else like that. They even have it that if you have it wide enough that you could slide it onto belts and so on. So it's great for activities. It's a great little trinket. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have the 10 pack. So you get 10 of these and it's like $12 for these. Maybe even less. I think it's maybe $8. I don't know. I'll have to check. But you can either get 10 black, 10 white, or 5 black and 5 white. 5 black and 5 white. Yeah. Those are the two colors I have them in. I think it'll really make a big difference for anybody who really wants to just add a little something extra to their booth. If you have any, markets or anything like that, you could sell these things $2 or $3, spare webbing, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to put any hardware on it. You could just have those little snaps. So yeah, you don't have to use, the little buckle snaps, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's on the website now. These water bottle holders things. Oh, and it comes apart. Look. So if they want to take it off, they can, or they can keep it on. Okay. You can make these to like go on strollers. Right? Okay. Awesome. This one might be a little harder to see. Remember those little phone lanyard things that Lynn's Handmade had that, what you call it thingy, right? The little phone slip things. Okay, you put this in the case. So you take this little tab thingy, you put it in, make sure the little D-ring is sticking out. D-ring sticking out. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Obviously, I'm trying to do this so you guys can see. Okay, so there's a little tab thingy right there. Okay, and then you put your cell phone, and it's so thin, it does not hinder your ability to charge your phone. Did I put mine in backwards? I sure did. Okay, this way. There you go. It is so thin that you could still charge your phone right into it. So it goes where the charging port is, but it doesn't block it. Okay. It works for both Android and iPhones. And you just have it like that. So the great thing about this is that you have a little lanyard hook. Like you make those lanyard things that Lynn's Handmade has her pattern with. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And I'm selling them in packs of like 10. You get 10 of these for like $5. Very inexpensive, call me. If you need to get any of this for more than that, if you need to like buy anything wholesale wise for me, wholesale will be like 20 or more. Just reach out to me, either through here, Messenger, Facebook, anywhere. And, I can give you a better price. Okay. There you go. So cute. All right. So that's that. So you could do your little lanyards with it. So that's another really cool thing. All right. So those two things. All right. Now, I have been working on this pattern for 6 months now. No. Yeah, 6 months. I have had it finished for 4 months because it only took me 2 months to make this pattern because it was so easy. Easy, like conceptually and all that kind of stuff, right? So This pattern is my newest pattern. I don't have a cover photo for it because I haven't had time for it, but it's all illustrated. Complete illustration, colorful, everything. Okay, and it's called the one in a million tote. So if you know anything about me and my patterns, I like to name them after songs. So this is the one in a million tote. I miscalculated the amount of webbing that I needed on this. So that's why this is not the cover picture, because I miscalculated and I didn't want to give you guys the wrong idea of how it's supposed to look, because it's supposed to have longer ones than this. One of those are reasonably priced in the cart. Awesome. So this pattern releases April 1st. It may or may not have a cover photo on it, but you know something? The patterns itself has been tested. Everything has been gone through. So yeah, it's getting out there, because without it being out there, how are you going to have it, right? So it's it's just amazing. I love this pattern. It gives you measurements mostly for all the cutting and things like that. It's all by measurement. Sorry, it's all by measurement. I think there is a template piece for like the cutouts of the corners or something like that, but that's it. Everything else is by measurement. That's right, Dated. Misrepresent what it needs to look like. Thank you. You helped my brain. Yay. So what was I saying? Oh, so the idea behind this tote was so that this tote is 1 yard of fabric. So if you wanted the lining and the exterior to be the same fabric, you get all of this from 1 yard. All of it. 1 yard. Okay? That was the whole concept of this 1 in a million tote bag, was so that it's 1 yard. I was going to call it the 1 yard wonder tote, but then I was like, no, I like to name my patterns after songs. So 1 in a million, because there's so many tote bag patterns out there. Why not add one more to it? And so that's going to be available April 1st. It may or may not have a front cover picture to it. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can talk Tori into making one so she can get, so I can use one of her pictures for the cover. Because I don't know if I'm going to have time for it. But either way, it'll be out on April 1st. Okay. So that's everything new that I have, other than the kits that I will be having for pre-sale. They'll be pre-sale because I'm not in a position right now financially to pre-order fabrics anymore and have them for retail. The last couple of months just really hit us hard, including the move and closing the brick and mortar and everything. So it is what it is. I'm sorry if you don't like pre-orders. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But that's the only way I can do it right now. So if anything that was out of stock that I recently had and you want it back in stock, just let me know. And I'll be more than happy to add it to the cart and get a few yards printed for you guys to have it available. But that's what it's going to be. It's like this. Okay. So I will show you guys. Okay. These are the the straps, so that it will make 1 inch straps, because these are 4 inches. That's like 8 inches of real estate. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So 30 minutes. What's your turnaround time? Turnaround time is 4 to 6 weeks, depending on customs. Customs is usually what's like. So I say 4 to 6 weeks from the day I close pre-orders. So if I close pre-orders on the 15th, then I usually get them in by the 5th to the 10th of the following month. and then I get it back out to you. So I say 4 to 6 weeks. So at the most 6 weeks, but I really, really, really try hard to get it out way before that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, making this. Jaded. Girl. My brain. Okay, so I'm going to trim this off here because obviously that's going to throw off my thing. So it'll be printed just like this, and you just have to trim off at the black line, just like any of these other, like, I think, is it Doodlebug or something like that? Or Little Carolina Stitches? I don't know. There's so many one for ones out there. I don't know what they are. But they have like the math pack already printed, and I gotta do is cut it out and just put it together. You just sit in the corner and what? I can't read it. It's behind something. Oh, that's too funny. What did you say? I just sit behind my corner and my bad. I'll just sit in the corner. Corner now. Why are you sitting in the corner? Is it because you're talking to me? It's not your fault I get easily distracted. I'm like Dory. Oh, I love it. Okay. Keep me lively. Okay. Now, obviously, if you have a mat, an acrylic ruler, and a rotary cutter, this would be a lot faster. Like, a lot faster. So, like, these are going to be literally pre-printed like that. Like, so you got to do is just cut out the shapes, which are going to be straight edges. I keep getting off track. Jaded, honey. You already know me. It does not take much to get me off track on anything. I'm always like, squirrel. Okay, so that's the piece that needs to get cut. And so it's printed so that both sides are right side up. Neat, huh? That took a minute for me to figure out printing wise, like laying it out on the design. That's like my thing. Like that's like my jam. Like I can do that kind of stuff. Like I tell Troy, I said, if you want another like sticker or magnet designed or whatever, I can do that. Which, by the way, I did tell her I was going to try to do one, but obviously that was like way before all this stuff started happening with like my mom getting sick and everything. So she has been amazing in waiting for me to design the next sticker. Because I actually designed like a sticker for like the fall, and then I did one for winter, and then I was going to do one for her for spring. And like spring is like tomorrow. Is spring tomorrow or is spring Saturday? I don't know. One of those days. So I might still get it to her in time for her to do something. I might work on that while I'm sitting there at my son's swim meet this weekend because it's out of town. It's up in Greenville. Hi, Melissa. I think everybody's doing great. Jade is doing laundry. Patty's hanging out. What is it? Something stitches. Hi, Wendy. Wendy's hanging out. House of Stitches is hanging out. We're just all hanging out. We're just having fun. Just chilling. Chilling like a villain. So we are working on a I'm going to offer these as pre-order tote kits. Market tote kits. Market tote kits so that it's they're fast, easy turnarounds. I think it's taking me longer to cut this thing out than it is for me to sew this puppy together. Okay. Webbing. Why is it that all I have is like bright colored webbing? What happens to neutrals? Oh yeah, I'm not a neutral kind of girl. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to make the straps. Dang it! But guess what? I'm not making them all fancy though. Your kit will come with webbing. I'm trying to think if I have some lined up somewhere. I knew I had like a whole thing of webbing. That wasn't like the one I sell. It's just the one I would use for just like generic totes and stuff like that I would make for different things. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna offer it so you guys can actually like let me know what design you want in the center. And it's the minimum of 4. So it's 2 yards, but it'll end up being 4 bags at the end, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna do this quick and dirty. That's gonna be the concept of it. I'll have some for you to choose from. Like this one here is obviously past fall, but fall's football and family. And then the other one is the one that the tote bag I just made. Here it is. This is the end product, and it says faith over fear. I'm putting it over here, but you guys are over here. So that's what it, and this is a finished product of what it looks like. You'll have webbing. You do not have to make your own straps. I'm just torturing myself right now because I can't find regular colored webbing that will go with this. Unless I don't think I have any. If I do, I don't know where it is. Don't worry, I lose everything. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it, really. And it's waterproof canvas. And it's light. So it's pretty. And light. And colorful. And vibrant. Okay. So if you want to watch how I did it the first time around, you guys can watch the rerun. But this is going to be the way if you're not wanting to do continuous binding all around the edge. I show you how to do it so that you don't have to do that. Okay. And obviously it'll be much easier if you're not having to do all of your straps, you know? So the idea is to offer something that you can offer your clientele, or have something that's more catered towards you or your clients that you know go to markets. To do a very nice kind of market tote. That you can like literally batch sew and it not break the bank, and you can get them pretty quickly. That's the whole concept behind me doing that, or this design that way, because I was like, yeah, what about people who want like just quick and easy, you know, bags that they want to make for markets? But it's not just plain fabric. Okay. One step, a two steps. I'm counting now. I'm counting. I'm like the count. Okay. So you won't be doing straps, but you will be cutting out the bag patterns because it's just going to be in yardage, and you just get it and then you do it like that. Yeah. So the idea is to just have two bags per yard. No lining, no fuss, no muss. You know, you don't have to worry about that. You just keep it moving. So I had one person ask me once, I think this was actually like at an event. They asked me, how do you come up with your, like the stuff you sell on your website? And I was like, well, I just look for a problem that needs a solution. Like if I find that I'm constantly having the same problem of having to source something, and it's just not available, I want to provide a solution for it. So that's how I get things that I offer on my website. Is because for me, it's not necessarily about just making extra money. It's more about providing something that's needed and filling in the gap. If that makes sense. That's how I started my sewing classes in Garner. You know, when I actually had my sewing classes, I saw a need. I saw a need that needed to be fulfilled, and I said, well, I can do that. And I did. And that's how I did it. Now, by no means did I say it was easy. No means did I say that filling in the gap is easy, because I don't know how Lauren does it. She keeps up with all her stuff and having releases every month. I'm like, God bless you. If you don't know who Lauren is, it's Lauren from Sew Whatever. You gotta check her out if you don't already have her on your subscription, YouTube subscription. But anyway, so she does just amazing. I really love that like ombre rainbow kind of thing that she's coming out with now. It's like, oh, that's so pretty. I'm on a buying buy-in. I'm on a buying timeout for a little bit. Personally, you know. All right, so let's see here. All right, so 15 minutes for straps. That's not bad, but that's still 15 minutes that I could have used doing something else. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So on this, I'm not going to do these here because it's kind of off-centered, but I'll leave this off so you don't have to do it. But if you wanted to, you could do the whole 45 degree like that. Come up so it's like this, so that way you know where that little mark is going to be, and so and so and so and so. Okay, but we're not doing that. We're going to do this and then this. So we fold it down twice and then we stitch. This is the best way to do this, I have found, in my humble opinion. So we got 1 and 2. And it gives you the mark where to fold. And then you just fold it again on itself. So you get 1 mark to know where to fold it to. And then you just fold it again. Obviously, I will be giving written directions, or at least, PDF directions to anybody who buys any of the kits, because you need to know how to put it together. All right, so once we've done that, okay, so now we're going to do our straps, and I'm doing our top piece. So our top piece is literally the same way. It's already determined by where the change in color is. So you could just do that. Now here is where I will definitely put in some tape. Doesn't need much, just a little bit on the edge would be great. A little bit of 1/8 inch would be good. If you keep it out of the seam allowance, you will not gum up your needle. I don't find that my tape does, but it all depends on your sewing machine and the type of needles you use. So I'm not going to sit there and say that it always is like that, but okay. So now what I'm doing here is I'm taking my strap and I'm putting it directly underneath where this mark is. And if you want to, you can get a little piece of tape. Put it on where the mark is. Okay. And then you just fold it down over the tape. Again, the same width that it was before. Okay. So just like that. The same width. If you want to get a measuring tool, you can. Now, see, this is going to be like really, really long. If I do it like that, that's going to be very long. So I wanted to have it so you guys can adjust the size of your straps. Some people like them longer. Some people like them shorter. That's what it's all about. Okay. turn these around like that and like that. Okay, so just like that. I'm going to just tuck that up a little bit. Tuck that up a little bit. Perfect. Tuck that down. Okay, good. So you'll see where the change in the fabric will happen, and that'll tell you where it needs to be folded. The fold itself is 3/4 of an inch. So you would line that up, the 3/4 of an inch mark on your needle plate. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So now that I've done that, all right, let's do the next one. Okay. So turn it over. A little bit of tape. We'll probably over just a little bit today, but it's okay. I haven't been on in a while. I got a lot of catching up to do. Oh, goodness. Okay, so just like that. Like that. Perfect. That can actually take down just a little bit. Okay, and then my other strap. Where did I go? There it is. Okay, just so that holds that there. And then let's hope they're not crooked. Tuck it in right underneath that little mark where it gives you that mark. So I always give you some type of point of reference to do things, so that way it speeds up the process of not having to measure as much. And it makes sure if you are using webbing, I will be providing webbing with my kids, that you're not going to have any problems with it unraveling the way you make it like this, because it gets folded in and tucked in and enclosed before it gets pushed up and sewed up again. Okay, so that is that. Now, if you're wanting to do your binding so that you're not having to do it continuously, you're going to have to do it in 2 parts. So what you have to do is you have to do your bottom first, then your sides. Okay. So when you have your pattern piece, now remember, we're not turning this right side out. This is the size that it needs to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to put ugly sides touching. So I'm going to go like this. Like this. Okay, you're going to want to do your center marks. That's your center mark for that, and then there's going to be a center mark for this, because you're not going all the way across. Okay. Go. Okay, just like that. Okay, so what we're doing is we are stopping at the base. We're going from base to base. We're not going past that little bit extra on that side because that's going to actually be where we pivoted up. Okay. If all my painting calculations and drawing calculations are correct, then this will work. They worked on the last one. So let's hope it does. Okay. So we've done that. Just like that. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll take our piece of webbing. Not webbing. What is this called? Binding. I know. Okay, so just like before, we're going to open it and tuck it in. It's going to have a raw edge there. That is totally okay. It's totally okay. We're just wanting to have it right where we had already sewn. And just tuck it nice and in there. If you want to, you can clip. I very rarely clip binding. Binding is actually one of my favorite parts of quilting. Don't ask me why. I think it's just the finality of it. Where'd you go? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to use my little clips. Oh, these haven't been put on the website either. I need to put these on. I have at least 100 of these. I like them because it's nice and it clips, and then it also acts like a stiletto, but it also clips. Like it pinches it if you need it to, which sometimes is very helpful. Because you need to pinch the fabric and keep it going one particular way. You don't want to put your finger there. That's how you run over fingers. Okay, did that. So that's what that looks like. Okay, now we get to come up this direction. Okay, line it up here. Clip it. Line it up down here. Clip. So clip all the way down. So you always want to do your match-up points first and then in between. If you have any little bit of bowing right here, that's just because it's telling you where it wants to fold over. That's totally fine because it needs to do some type of a curve there. Okay, so I like to have it so that I'm sewing from the top to this corner. So I have it that this part is facing up. You go over there. And just go ahead and make sure everything is lined up and stitch. We're doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to go all the way until we get to that corner. And then when you get to that corner, you're going to stop. And that's where that binding is. You're going to stop where the binding is. See that? So that's what's going to happen there. And you do the same thing with the other end. With the other side of the side. Again, match up here first. If you did all your folding properly, then you're not going to have any trouble with this lining up. Again, you're going to have a little bit of a tuck over here. You're supposed to have a little bit of a dip into that. Okay. This, stitch from the top. You don't need to back stitch unless you want to because it is what you call it. I started getting in the way. Because we're going to bind it. Okay, again, come all the way to this part here. I like to take this part here and just kind of fold it away just so I don't stitch on it when it starts getting to that little fold stop and back stitch. Okay, so again, I stopped right before I hit that binding. Right there, I stopped. Okay, so now we're going to bind this section. Can you guys, yeah, you guys can see me just fine. I'm like, is this thing in the way? It's not. Stay hydrated. I broke a nail. Ugh. My nails have been so fragile. Ugh. It's all right. Okay, so we're going to do the same process we did with the other side. The only difference is that on this one, we are going to measure out the amount we need plus about 1/2 inch on either end. Just a little bit longer than it needs to be. If it's too long, it's better than if it's too short. That's my motto. So you're going to open it up again. So fold over binding has 2 different widths, believe it or not. There's one width that's wider than the other one. I put the widest one against the table. So that's going to be on my, where my bobbin is. Words. Okay, and I'm going to fold this down, pinch this down, and then tuck this over. Again, to have that nice, clean edge right there. Okay, and then, like I said, I don't usually pin. I just kind of like go and go at it like there. All right, let me put this. I'm gonna put one there because I need to have this one stay in place. And that's where these little things come in handy. Okay. You need to push and tuck. Do not use your fingers. I don't care how tempted you are. You will lose. You will be hurting. Okay. So just like that, I tuck it over. I hold it. It lets this shift ever so slightly. Sometimes. You can use tape here too if you want to. As long as it's out of the seam allowance, really. Okay. And then go all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. Okay, so at the very bottom, this is where you're going to need to like really pull and tuck on this. And you're going to really want to butterfly this out so that you're just grabbing ever so slightly, just a little tiny corner of where that was before. And you're going to, that's too much. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Because then it's just going to be too bulky. Take that there, fold it up, tuck it in. That's what it's all about to do. Okay, hold that nice and tight. Okay. And this is how you do the binding. Oh, just do this just so you guys can see. That's how you do the binding on one side without having to be continuous. Now, is it easier or anything else like that? Possibly, to do it the continuous way. But if you're not comfortable doing it the continuous way, there is a way to do it just like that. And you could do it vice versa, by the way, too. You could do that. You go ahead and stitch everything together, and then you do the binding down here, and then you do this binding. So I'm going to show you the other side like that. Usually I would have it with the other side up, just so I could see where to stop. I'm just going to put a clip there instead. Okay. Do this side. Okay. Then you do the bottom. Boom. Okay, now you could do the bottom of the binding and so on and so forth and so forth. Ooh, that's cute. Yes, it is cute. You go over there. You go over there. Oh, I was like, why do I have this bottle of water here? I remember because I was showing you guys the little water holder thingy. Okay. Okay, and then do this way. Okie dokies. Okay. So I need to just make sure everything else is out of the way, and this here is as smooth as possible. When you get down here, you can kind of shift things out of the way a little bit. Okay, again, like this, like this. If this is too fiddly for you, you could always do it the traditional way of putting on binding, which is sewing it and then sewing it again. Sewing it and sewing it and sewing it again. Which, to be honest, if I was going to do, would rather do it while I'm basting it on the first time. Because then that way I'm not having to sew it more than twice. If I have to be completely honest. You gotta hold your tongue a certain way too. The more you do it, the better it gets. See that? And then that way, you just flip this up, you do your stitches, and you're done. You could do this as a box or just a single stitch. It doesn't have to be a box. So this one I'm going to do just as a single stitch, just so I can jump on over here. Okay. Okay. And then that way, it's nice and, well, that one isn't going to fold down as nicely as the other one. I would kind of have to almost tuck that just a little bit just so that it folds down and have to like snippity snip right there. And what I mean that by is just sew it really fast, just right there at that angle. So then that way it does that little bit of an angle that you do with the continuous binding, which is called a mitered corner. There you go. Boom. Okay. So you get two styles. I personally like the continuous binding better. It just seems a lot less bulky for me. And it's not that bad as long as you just get used to doing it. But so then you can have this one and this one. So I think I like this one. This one is not quite done yet, so it's obviously not sitting the right way yet. But this is what it looks like. Isn't that cute? Okay, so it's actually deceivingly small looking. And I say that because it squishes together flat because of the way I did my seams in there. See that? And so then now if you open it up, I mean, you could put a gallon of milk in there. Yeah. You can definitely put in like a gallon of milk in there, a box of cereal. I mean, you could put a lot in there. So if you see how wide it opens up this way, and then how big it opens up this way, it's got a lot of room for stuff. Stuffy stuff. Okay. So I designed this, like I said, like before I even went to Orlando for Sew Bestie in Orlando when I did the classes and stuff out there. I designed this completely before then, but I just didn't have the time to really put into actually putting it all together and marketing it and doing all other kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And next week, we are going to be doing the duffel bag for my son, which is probably going to be the Dallas by Swoon. Swoon has given me permission to do any of their patterns, as long as I don't show pattern pieces and don't give out like pertinent information kind of stuff. So you know how I am. I just kind of go with the flow, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. He picked out waxed canvas, so it's not going to get lined. I'm trying to do a lot of those minimalist type things. We're not having to worry about lining, honestly, because the lining and interfacing and foam. Those are things that start stacking things up for pricing. So we'll figure it out together. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. I gotta crawl across now. Okay.